Hello, Dr. Coker here, and this is the story of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, patch 5.2, Echoes of a Fallen Star. Some time has passed since Estinien visited the Rising Stones to report that Zenos had assassinated Emperor Varis. Now, Maxima pays a visit and introduces himself to Cryle. He says that an unexpected visitor has come to the Alamegan border speaking of a new threat from Garlemald. Cryle and the hero head straight to Alamigo to speak with Roban, and they find that the unexpected visitor is Gaius von Baelsar.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea.
He reminds the hero that he and Estinien infiltrated Garlemald and witnessed the assassination of Emperor Varis. Then he says they found that the Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon. A few prototypes have been created, and one is on its way to Eorzea. Roban pleads for the hero's help, saying he's the only one who can face this weapon. Gaius offers to help, as he feels guilty since he was the one responsible for the original Ultima weapon. Cryle tells the hero that he's the only one who can meet with the Scions on the First, and their situation is getting worse.
I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
For the moment, the hero decides to pay a visit to them at the Crystarium. He tells them about the news from Garlemald and about Cryle's concerns about their bodies. Y'shtola is concerned about the general chaos in Garlemald and other unpleasant surprises that may come as a result. The Scions are eager to get back to the source, and the Crystal Exarch says they've made great progress to that end. He presents their latest work.
An ark for soul and mind both, that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
Unfortunately, as Urianger points out, you cannot transfer the mind to the crystal without Allagan blood. The Exarch is hopeful that they will find a solution soon. Lena enters and says she'd like to speak with the hero. Outside, she says a Sin Eater was spotted and she wants the hero to help the guards slay it. The hero meets the guards at Fort Job. Among them is a man named Thaler, who once told the hero about his friend that died with a smile as he witnessed the knight's return just before he passed. The hero and the soldiers then head north to meet with the scout who found the Sin Eater. They arrive to find it already slain. The guards say a man calling himself the Warrior of Light killed it with a single blow, then disappeared.
Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood.
Lena orders the troops to return to their posts and apologizes to the hero for wasting his time. Alphinaud says he has a proposal in mind and he wants to reconvene at the Crystarium. First, Lena wishes to speak with the hero in private. She's curious about the Exarch. He has been different ever since he returned from the Tempest, but in a lot of ways he seems younger and happier.
It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there.
She's worried that her presence will anchor him to the past and remind him of the pain, but the warrior assures her that the Exarch needs her and it's okay. After this, the hero returns to the Crystarium once again. Alphinaud explains his proposal. He says that the people of the First think the Warriors of Light doomed their world, and their historic records even falsely claim this. Alphinaud thinks it's time to reveal the truth to them and tell them of the real heroism of Ardbert and his companions. The Exarch and everyone else agrees, and they decide to call together the people of the Crystarium to correct the record. The heroes split up and spread the word around town, telling everyone to gather at the base of the tower. With the people gathered, the hero recounts the stories of the Warriors of Light. He speaks of their bravery and heroism, and ultimately how they sacrificed themselves to save the world.
Wicked White. The Warriors of Light did all that? They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls.
The Crystarium is abuzz with everyone chatting about this new revelation.
Impossible.
What in the world?
Previously, only the hero could see Ardbert, as he was a ghost. Now everyone sees him walking in the flesh.
That it should be the Warrior of Darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time, though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may.
He announces himself to everyone as the Warrior of Light. He claims that as the world was saved, he has been given a new life. Ardbert says the hero will one day have to return to his world, and it will be up to the people of this world to protect it. He tells the crowd that they must become the new Warriors of Light. He insists that all it takes is to always choose to help others in need, and therefore any of them can become Warriors of Light. The Scions have serious doubts.
Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired unto the Ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
They return to the Ocular to discuss, but Alphinaud stays behind to watch. Beck Lug confirms that this man is Ardbert as far as he can tell, but the hero's soul is still bonded with Ardbert's as confirmed by Y'shtola, so he knows this cannot be him. Remembering the Ascian's fondness for possessing others' bodies, they conclude that this must be an Ascian. The only remaining paragon among the Ascians is Elidibus. Urianger points out that Zenos reclaimed his body from Elidibus only recently, so this is surely possible. As a side note, he mentions that the blessing of Hydaelyn must shield the hero from Ascian possession, or else they would have possessed him long ago.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps?
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark.
The heroes agree he is up to something, but they aren't sure what, and they don't want to say anything to the people of the Crystarium just yet after having repaired Ardbert's reputation. Moving forward, the Exarch says he will continue his research with Beck Lug to get the spirit vessels working. Alphinaud is still watching Ardbert, so Urianger is going to find Thancred and Reen, while the hero and Y'shtola head to Raktika Greatwood. Y'shtola says that there's been an interesting discovery at the Katana Ravel. Once they arrive in Fano, the heroes learn that more unexplored ruins have been discovered, which may reveal more about the Ascian's motives.
Come. Our new discoveries are to be found this way.
The people of Ronka are known to have venerated animals, but these features do not match those of any indigenous species. This is no common beast.
The room has a sealed door and various statues. There are pedestals with owl statues, but they find one pedestal missing an owl. Y'shtola fears this is too simple, and some defense mechanism will be triggered. Just as she's reading an ancient inscription warning about waking the beast, one of the V's picks up a statue. This wakens the beast, and it teleports everyone in the room away to somewhere unknown. After trapping the hero's companions' souls into cards, the beast gives the hero riddles. The hero has to choose the correct answers to free his companions. This is followed by a memory game. With everyone freed, the final challenge is to defeat the beast in combat. Once the beast is defeated, everyone is returned to the original room, and they're able to place the statue on the empty pedestal. Inside, they find the final resting place of a great hero. The V's are fascinated to learn that this legend was real.
A legendary hero of Ronka, as you surmised. The tales tell of how she smote entire armies with a single incantation, so potent was her spellcraft. Though she ever fought in the name of peace.
They speak of what they've learned about the legend of Tayuna from childhood and the powers she possessed. Y'shtola realizes that what they describe is in fact the Echo. She marvels at the fact that in this world and the Source, incredible heroes awaken in dire times with this same power. Further, the destruction seen in the mural looks just like what the heroes witnessed in Amarat. The V's say that history is learned, not lived, meaning that it is colored by our own perceptions, and being taught what happened is never the same as living it. Y'shtola ponders this and says they must work hard to keep the truth alive. Moving on, Y'shtola asks the hero to join her in Slitherbough for a small matter. In Slitherbow, despite Y'shtola saying she doesn't have much time, Runar insists on cooking a stew for her and the hero. Later, when he comes to inform her that it is ready, he overhears her talking about how she's going to miss these people, and it saddens him. A moment later, the other Scions approach, and Alphinaud says Ardbert is traveling all over Norvront to encourage everyone to become Warriors of Light. He believes Ardbert is heading to Slitherbow next, and Urianger says Reen spotted a Sin Eater nearby. Ardbert is likely to try to make a good impression on his arrival by slaying it, just like he did in Lakeland, so the heroes head to its location to try and intercept Ardbert. They find the Sin Eater slain by Thancred and Reen, so Alphinaud says they'll wait there for Ardbert to arrive. Within moments, he arrives.
It seems I've lost this particular race. When we first met, it was I who outpaced you. Ravana, was it?
The hero tricks him by asking about Sato, and his answer reveals him for a fake.
Very well. Let us forego this pretense. Yes, it is I, Elidibus.
We understand your role, emissary, but not your goal. What is it that you seek to achieve?
I seek to enact the will of the Convocation, of course. If it helps you to think of me as but another Ascian, no different in nature or purpose from the rest, you are welcome to do so.
Alphinaud suggests that they don't necessarily have to be enemies, and he recalls the final words of Emmett Selk.
Remember that we once lived, he said. Had he not seen some glimmer of hope in our kind, I do not believe he would have spoken thus.
Elidibus has great respect for Emmett Selk, but says he was wrong in this regard, and he will do his duty to return all to its proper course.
There is no common ground to be found between you and I, nor do I require any.
So the Scions have confirmed his identity and his purpose, but they still have no idea how his Warrior of Light plan ties into it. Y'shtola says the heroes know too little, and they should return to the Tempest. Last time the heroes explored the Phantom Amaurot created by Emmett Selk, but this time they will explore the ruins of the actual city. Everyone agrees, so they head off to visit the friendly Ondo tribe at the Tempest. The Ondo chieftain says he knows where the ruins are, but right now they are unable to help because the Benthos, a faction of thieving, aggressive Ondo, have stolen vital supplies. The heroes volunteer to get them back. The heroes return to the chieftain after recovering the supplies. He says that the Benthos are stockpiling supplies because they plan to occupy the ruins, the same ruins that the heroes seek. They wish to raise an army and attack the Finless. Stopping this before it escalates would be good, so the heroes head out right away. They seek out Bismarck the Whale, as they will need to go deeper into the Tempest than before. Urianger says he's learned to walk on water, but some have their doubts. Thancred rescues him, and he apologizes for losing focus, but Thancred is experiencing dizzy spells lately as well. Moving on, they approach Bismarck by boat instead. Bismarck agrees to help, but asks if the heroes would remove barnacles from his underbelly first. Bismarck thanks them, and mentions that long ago he had a friend named Kin that used to do him the same favor. He says he'll meet them at the shore, but Reen insists that the heroes rest first, since Thancred and Urianger are experiencing lightheadedness. Thancred says Reen worries too much, but on the other hand he's enjoying the view at the moment. Suddenly, an unnerved fisher approaches and begs for help, saying he was attacked by a band of outlaws. The heroes head to the scene and find that Thaler and his friend Vonard have already saved the day. Inspired by Ardbert's, or Elidibus's, speech earlier, they are running around helping their fellow countrymen. Moving on, the heroes head to the shore to meet Bismarck the whale. The heroes climb aboard Bismarck and are taken deeper into the Tempest than ever before to Anamnesis Anadur, an ancient high-tech library of sorts. Before they can access the Banks of Knowledge, they must defeat Rookish Deem, the violent matriarch of the Benthos Ondo tribe. Now inside, the Scions are in awe at the place.
This structure must have served an important function. And here are yet more crystals.
In such vessels did the ancients preserve concepts, ideal forms to be drawn upon in the act of creation. That so great an abundance should reside here lendeth credence to Ishtola's conclusion. This facility held great significance.
The heroes witness a recorded scene where distressed Ancient Ones speak to a Convocation defector named Venat. She wishes no ill will against the Convocation, but says their plans are dooming their world, and she wishes to bring forth a light that will keep the darkness of Zodiark in check.
So, it was they who first summoned Hydaelyn.
Some were of the viewpoint that his power must needs be restrained, and to that end they call forth she who would serve as his shackles. We now know that it was this Venar to whom they looked for leadership.
Y'shtola is curious and looks to see if they can get more information from the device that generated the holograms. From this scene, they learn that Venat became Hydaelyn's heart, and Elidibus became Zodiark's heart.
7 hells. Then who or what are we dealing with?
Y'shtola tries but fails to get the device to display another scene, and Urianger infers that whatever energy source it pulls from has been depleted. Then he says that Elidibus would have ceased to be when the Sundering happened, but Emmett Selk said these names they use are the names of the seats they occupy, not the individuals themselves. This would mean the Elidibus they contend with in the present is actually a successor to the one who became Zodiark's heart. Y'shtola has doubts about this explanation and wants to try to revive the device. She lingers behind while the others return to the Crystarium.
Ah, excellent timing. For me, in any case. We have a problem.
The Exarch explains that so many people are inspired to be the next Warriors of Light that they are abandoning their posts as the city guard and other essential duties. Though they are free to do so, he can't run a city this way. Thaler and Vonard approach the hero, and they say they want to get out into the world and help people in need. Alphino struggles with how to respond, but something must be done. Suddenly, a dazzling spectacle fills the sky.
I hear a voice.
Everyone present hears the voice of Hydaelyn calling them.
Hear? Feel? Think?
Did I not tell you, my friends? You are warriors of light!
The imposter Ardbert steps forward and the spectacle abruptly ends. Under a clear sky, he tells them they've just heard the voice of light itself, and they've been blessed and chosen. He walks away from the crowd, and the Scions speak to him out of earshot of the public. He won't reveal his plans, but he admits that he created the illusion in the sky, and he has awakened a small fraction of the echo in everyone in the crowd.
Through the rekindling of memory, I have awoken the ability. Just as Hydaelyn is wont to do when she has need of new minions.
He does not explain further, and he leaves the Scions puzzled about the nature of the Echo and of Hydaelyn herself. He says he's off to save the world as he departs. The Exarch speaks to the heroes next. He says many of these new Warriors of Light, such as Thaler and Vobard, have the best intentions, and they follow in the footsteps of great heroes. He advises the hero to speak with them and provide guidance before they leave. The hero finds them at the gates, armored up and ready to leave. He provides encouragement and words of wisdom, then they set off. The heroes reconvene at the Ocular. They say they've learned a lot lately, but still have no idea what Elidibus is planning. Thancred offers to start following him in secret, and everyone agrees to this. Then Alphinaud asks about the spirit vessels. The Exarch and Beck Lug are optimistic about the research, but they simply aren't ready yet. Next, the hero returns to his room to rest. In the late hours while resting, the hero gets a knock at the door. It's the friend of the hero who helped him grow in his role not long ago. He listens to the hero as he explains about the Ardbert imposter. The friend offers to help, but the hero says it's best if he handles this one. Meanwhile, the Exarch continues his research into spirit vessels, but it isn't going well. Back on the Source, Zenos is having recurring dreams of walking the streets of Amarot during the final days.
A recurring dream? They do so fascinate me. Might I trouble you for the details?
I have always dreamed of it. Fire falling from the heavens, and the city, nay, the whole world ablaze.
Zenos does not know what the final days were, so the white-robed figure offers to tell him the tale.
Why, yes. Admittedly, my knowledge is mostly second-hand, but if you are interested, I will gladly tell you the tale.
And that's the end of patch 5.2. I hope you've enjoyed this recap. Keep an eye on my channel. I'll be making a video for the recap of patch 5.3 next. See you next time.